Hello and welcome to Husky Talk SNS. Yes, it's a new show just started by the brainchild of co-host Sean Mulcahy and myself, probably the two smartest men in the universe as well. I would like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon Partners, they're one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of Husky Talk. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. And in a day or two, hopefully, there'll be a Tesla in my driveway. We have Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump in West Palm Beach, Florida. They will save you money on your taxes, or in some cases, get you a nice big fat return. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. We have Pete Finch in the Finch Law Firm out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, a slip and fall, a construction beam fell on you at a site, your mother-in-law tried to run you over with a car, the Finch firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all over the state, and he will go to war for you and get every dollar you deserve in compensation. All you have to do is go to thefinchfirm.com, and he will have a free consultation and take care of you. We have Dynamic Human Performance, owned and operated by Andre Dixon. Andre works with boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has introduced a new athletic development program where whatever your sport is, whatever you want to be good at, he takes you from the ground up and trains you and develops you so you reach your potential and have a chance to be special and earn a college scholarship. Andre has sent kids on scholarships all over the country, and you have to go to dynamichumanperformance.com, sign up, register, work with Andre. It's a state-of-the-art 5,000 square foot facility. They are absolutely incredible. They have all the tools, the bells and whistles, and they offer classes throughout the day for any youngster involved. We have on the south side, Julius Williams, aka Julius Trenches. Julius works with offensive and defensive linemen, some of the best that I've ever seen. They have gone to camps. They compete in camps all summer, all over the country. They're 5v5, as they call it, which is basically one-on-one for offensive and defensive linemen. And they have been victorious so far in just about every camp. That's a credit to his coaching. He has an incredible staff. If you want your kid to be a Division I player, a Division I lineman, have a chance at a scholarship, work with Julius. He has kids at Florida, Florida State, Miami, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, just to name a few. And he's got contacts with just about everyone because people want to work with him. So go to battleofthetrenches.com and you yourself can work with Julius and get your kid to the next level. And now for the man of the hour himself, Mr. Sean Mulcahy. Sean, it's great to see you again.
You, man. I love our receding hairlines. They're getting farther back every time I see them.
I know. I try to hide mine, but it doesn't work.
That's sick.
You grow your hair longer so you can see it. I try to keep it short, so it just looks like I have a short haircut. But yeah,
be there sooner or later. How about those ladies?
Yeah, what a shocker that was today.
Blowout. I did not.
Every game was a blowout. You know, I thought when they played Arkansas State in the first round and held them to 34 points, I thought it was an anomaly. I thought it was like they'll do okay. Obviously, in the first 2 rounds, they're playing at home. They're playing Arkansas State. They're playing the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. And after that, it'll be a little bit of a battle. But boy, was I wrong. They dominated from start to finish every single game. Every single game. And obviously, Paige is the star. She didn't have the best shooting day. I mean, she was 5 of 14. But what was great to see, in my opinion, Sarah Strong, because she's a freshman. She had an incredible season. She's coming back. And also, AZ Fudd is coming back. And they both had 24 points. AZ was a little cold from the outside, 1 for 6. But to see them step up, because it's going to be their team. It's going to be their team. So it was good to see them lead the team in scoring with 24 points each. And South Carolina, if you look at their box score, it looks like a JV basketball team.
Yeah.
If you had to guess, and I'm putting you on the spot, if you had to guess,
you couldn't tell
how many points do you think their highest scorer had?
I think it's like 10 points, 9 points.
It was 9 points.
It's terrible.
That's all they had was 9 points.
I mean, and the defense at UConn was incredible, but they didn't go up today. And I wonder if the turnaround that we talked about, not enough time off, and Sunday at 3, whatever, it wasn't enough time.
Well, South Carolina had the first game, but UConn, and Maria had talked about this extensively on her show. UConn, when they implemented the press, they started pressing more kind of midway through the season, and then obviously through the tournament and the Big East tournament. And she believes that the press really changed things. It gave teams a lot of issues because you have 10 seconds to get it over the line. And then after that, you don't have much time to score. So they were using the 10 seconds to get over. You're over and you have, 24, 23 seconds to score. And a lot of these teams don't have the half-court offense to do it that fast. And you saw that in the UCLA game. UCLA just looked atrocious. What I saw was 4 girls standing around the three-point line, basically looking to get the ball to Lauren Betts, that 6'7" girl. And it's bad of me to say this, but I've always wondered what it would be like to fornicate with a 6'7" girl. I mean, it's got to be interesting, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. It's got
I wouldn't know.
Like lineman to lineman.
I mean, I tell you what, those are breeding girls. I mean, if we got with one of those girls, we got tackles for miles if we did that. But when I saw her, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, wow, I wonder what it would be like to fornicate with her. Because I don't know how it would work, but it'd be interesting. It would be interesting for sure. But they look like they really were trying to force the ball into her. And UConn, to their credit, did an outstanding job collapsing and disrupting her. Like, she was never really comfortable in the paint at all. It looked like she really, was struggling. As soon as she got the ball, she was collapsed on. They were swiping at her to knock the ball out of her hands. And Maria had said that that was the only scary part about UCLA was Lauren Betts, because typically, you know, Jana Al-Alfi had not played well. But I thought she did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, defensively she did great.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were like swarms. You know, you remember swarm to the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they were great on defense. Did no breathing room, attack, collapse. Right, defense was fantastic. And you know, and they shot pretty lights out. You know, even though Paige didn't have a great night, everyone else stepped up.
Yeah, Paige. I think Paige was just obviously nervous because it was her last opportunity for a national title, and obviously one of her last games in a UConn uniform. So she probably pressed a little too much, but she still ended up with decent numbers, not what she had been doing, but enough. But I mean, Sarah Strong, AZ Fudd. AZ was outstanding as usual. AZ has been just incredible, and that's what's exciting about next year. They have AZ and Sarah. They have a great class coming in, and that's the one thing about Gino. He doesn't typically take a lot of transfers. He likes to mold the girls from the ground up. And when you're as good as UConn, you don't necessarily have to worry about your kids leaving, like the men do. Like the men, you know, if they're not playing, you know, their freshman year enough minutes, they're out. We're out, baby. And it's good to see Gino being able to develop and cultivate their talent. I was also surprised because they did not get a ton off the bench. I mean, they obviously got something out of KK. KK is the Energizer Bunny. She just plays like a maniac. She had 9 points. She played 15 minutes. She plays great defense, and she's very good passing the ball and you know, getting assists. But otherwise, you know, Ice came in off the bench, you know, to play against the big girls, and it was good to see. Aubrey get in. I'm sorry, Aubrey. Yeah, Aubrey did get in. Aubrey has just battled all year long. She got a few minutes, and the dominance was just the third quarter was what blew me away. I mean, they came out firing on all cylinders. And I mean, talk about it, you know, everyone, and including me. I mean, I bashed the Big East. And Maria and Joe D had talked about playing the Big East schedule is what really hurt them, because they were playing such terrible teams, and they were worried by the time they got to the tournament, by the time they got the Big East tournament, the NCAA tournament, they were going to be struggling. And obviously they did not. So that was good to see.
No, they played almost perfectly. I definitely, she was great in such a short period of time. That's what you needed coming off the bench, and
yeah,
playing both ways well. And you know, I mean, I didn't realize it until you said it, but it's so true that it would blow out the game in the tournament like that. Like their championship team that solidifies it. There's no question.
Well, yeah, it was like how the men were last year in the tournament. The men destroyed everyone in the tournament last year. So it was good to see the women get their turn. The men thankfully got some transfers coming in, and hopefully they can retool for next year. And I was looking at this just like you said. Joe Milton did get traded to the Cowboys, and that just surprises me. That really surprises me, because I thought I never was a big fan of his, but what do you, I mean, they have a backup already. Is Cooper Rush. Oh, I'm sorry. Cooper Rush left. That's why. Okay. Cooper Rush left. They were looking at Drew Lock and Jacoby Brissett. So they go, but it just scares me because you're going with two kind of unknowns with Trey Lance and Milton, who was a 6th-round pick. Trey Lance has been injured. He had that one good spring. Now, I think you and I aren't Patriots fans by any stretch. I think Drake May is going to be the real deal. I just think they need to get some people for him to throw to and an offensive line.
So Travis Best, that would be perfect for them if that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he will. And then, from what I heard from Mike Garofalo was that Vrabel is trying to get rid of as many people in the previous regime as possible, and he didn't want to distract because Milton's been in the news a lot lately about getting a trade. So,
okay.
Oh, and they wanted it done before. So tomorrow,
what do you got in a bonus or something?
Well, like not OTAs, but workout tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, they didn't want him showing up. I got you.
Yeah. So there's like the bonus, and yeah, they don't want him a part of this new, which is weird.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, each coach is different, and we've seen that with Randolph, wanting his own players and not necessarily trusting the guys that they have. But it's going to be interesting to see how things play out there. I wanted you to know, just because you got me onto it, I did go back last night and I just had to watch Crocodile Dundee. I haven't seen it in probably 40 years. And my God, it's really an underrated movie.
Holds up, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I was not expecting it to at all, but it does completely hold up. It is, and Paul Hogan's absolutely hysterical. Right. And I never remembered it being that funny.
Yeah, how he's like got kind of a trickster, and she's like, gun for. I thought you're not a poacher, and he's like, and then he starts shaving.
Yes.
What's also great about that movie is they break it up really nicely with the first half in Australia and the second half in New York.
When they go to New York, right?
He grabs the lady's cooter that he thinks is a
yes.
That is hysterical. Family Matters dad and the cop from Die Hard in it.
Yes. I was watching it until 2 a.m. because I couldn't shut it off. I didn't remember it being that funny, but my God, it was hysterical. Now you
go ahead.
You mentioned being, you had the Rambo knife, which is very impressive. Very impressive. Would you consider yourself a Rambo fan?
Yeah, I love Rocky IV, but I lean more Rambo than Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
I love the first 3, and the last 2 I enjoyed thoroughly. Like whenever Rambo's fucking shit up, I am in.
Yeah. The last one, wow. The last one blew me away.
Great.
And because I remember Stallone, when he was interviewed about it, he was asked if Rambo was alive or dead at the end of it, and he kind of shied away from it, but I think he wanted it to be that Rambo was just alive and just spent, that he completed his final mission. Completed his final mission and was spent. And then the one before that, my God, that one before that was just out of this world, where he was in Burma or Thailand or wherever. Oh my God.
He's punching dudes' throats, like he's getting behind the 50 count, destroying people. It is amazing.
Yeah, it is. It was for sure. And it's just a shame because we've talked about this. Well, I've talked about this. The action movie, or should I say even the action movie star, has really kind of gone away. I mean, the Rock does it. The Rock does it well. There's a couple others, but there's no Stallones. There's no Schwarzeneggers.
You're right.
Bruce Willis, not really, can't do it anymore. And there really isn't, either there isn't a new generation of action stars, or we as a society are not into the action movie. That is my dilemma, where I can't quite figure out. Do we just not like action movies anymore? Are we more story driven? Or is it there just aren't the action movie stars out there to play the part?
It's probably a little bit of both, but maybe. So from what I've heard is that when we were growing up with Stallone and Schwarzenegger and Tom Cruise, whatever, that the stars really ran the studios. They were able to choose.
Oh, that's true. Yep.
Now the studios run the show. Netflix, Amazon have really taken over Disney. So now they put out what they want, and what they want, not shit. So it's also bad stories, and with bad actors not in the right story. It's kind of a combination of everything.
Oh, no, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense, because you're right. Because, movies overall are down. I mean, as far as revenue and studios losing money on them. And then you always find some weird movie that makes money that ends up being a hit. But I miss the old school action movie. Like, I was so excited, Sean, when they decided, I think it was 2015, where they announced they were coming out with a new Terminator.
Yeah.
And they came out with the new Terminator. And of course, the first night I go and I watch it, and I just left sad. This is what they turned my Terminator into. This is what they turned Arnold into.
So it's funny you mentioned that. So one of the reasons that brought me into the blades and the knives is because it's difficult to have like a top whatever movie list of guns, or because they're all so good. Really can't top Schwarzenegger in T2 with the gun out of the office building, taking out the police with no casualties. Like that gun is untoppable.
He was given the direct order, I don't want you to kill anyone. So he's shooting them all in the leg. Yes, I remember that. And then I remember the blade was Robert Pattinson, the T2, who could just morph into the metal and would just stab and tear people apart.
Yeah, Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick, that's right. Robert Pattinson, he was the one from the zombie movie. That's right.
Yes.
Robert Patrick. Yeah, Robert Patrick was awesome. And then, the Terminator, the first Terminator, I liked that Kyle Reese, I thought, he was a man's man, and he was going up against the machine, and he's like, it It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't have compassion. It just wants to kill you. That's all it does. That's all it's here for. And he was one of my favorite characters. And I like Terminator 1. Terminator 1. And then so the Terminator in 2015 flopped. So of course they try to make another. And I'm pretty sure they brought James Cameron back for it. And I don't even know how they managed. They made it worse.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you screw up a Terminator movie?
Like, look what they did with that Indiana Jones.
Oh God.
Years ago. Did you ever see the South Park how they made fun of that movie?
No, I didn't. I have to. They do make fun of it.
Oh, I'm not going to spoil it. That's
Okay.
They take 20 minutes to watch.
How? What do you know? What season it was? Was it a couple years ago?
So this is a while ago. They did it probably.
All right, I'll search it. Yeah.
I'll look for it too. I'll text it to you. Because the first three are amazing. Whenever they're on TV, I can't get enough of it. And one of the funny things about his weapons is he's got the whip and stuff.
Yes.
But he's got a revolver, and I'm pretty sure it's like a 45, like it's a big revolver. But it sounds like a fucking howitzer every time he pulls the trigger. Like, like a battleship cannon. Sound effect. Terrible, dude. Pay attention to that the next time, especially in the first one. Like when he whips it out in the bar in like Siberia or Tibet, right before they go to Cairo, and he's shooting at like the back, and it's like it's like what the that?
It's like a missile going off. It's like a freaking missile going off. And that was the same thing. They tried to remake Indiana Jones, and Harrison Ford's 95 years old, and like he can't do anything. I mean, it's all his stuntmen doing everything. I just why make the movie if you got him and he's incapable of doing much? I know his rugged good looks, but come on. That one bothered me as well. And I'm not an Indiana Jones fan. But I did watch. I watched the remake, and I watched the first one. I didn't hear the third one with Sean Connery was that good, so I never watched that one. I don't think I watched the second one.
I was 7 years old when my parents took me to see it in the theaters. And I loved it, dude. It had a huge impact on me movie-wise. I really liked it. So
the one with Sean Connery?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Really liked it. So there's a few reasons. Obviously, I'm 7, so super influential at that age. Just starting to go to the movies with my parents because they'll take me to like an R movie.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was cool. And then it also had a lot of history to it, and it also had a lot to do with like Catholicism, which I was raised Catholic, so
yes,
I understand the mythology of. And I use that term loosely, mythology.
yes. No, I'll definitely check that out. I'm surprised they took you as a 7-year-old to see Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom.
My mom was a big movie buff. My dad, they took me that year in 1989,
It was 89, yep.
I saw that, Glory, and Hunt for Red October, and was like,
you saw Hunt for the Red October at 7?
Yeah, in the theaters. It was so good.
Oh,
I still love that movie. I love that movie.
That is a great movie. I saw Hunt for the Red October, and then I remember seeing Crimson Tide.
Yeah,
I thought Crimson Tide. We talked about Crimson Tide was a great movie because I got in an argument with Frank, who you met, about Gandolfini, James Gandolfini. I was saying that he was great in The Sopranos, but he wasn't like this great actor like in movies.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about? You know, he's in Crimson Tide. He's in this. He's that. So I didn't remember him being great in movies. So we argued about that, and he was in Crimson Tide. He just didn't have a huge role.
Right.
My other question to you is, are you like Terry McLaury is a superhero buff?
Yeah.
He dresses up for Batman every year. Are you like an Avengers fan or a superhero movie?
I have one individual.
Yeah.
He's the king of kings in my world, and it has to do this shirt. If you can see it, so this is Schwarzenegger and this is Carl Weathers in the
Yes.
And Predator is my guy. I am a Predator guy.
Oh, Predator is awesome. Predator is freaking awesome.
He's got the blades. He's got the, the pole with the stabbing blades that come out of it. To me, he's unbeatable. This guy fights aliens for a living. Humans can't beat the aliens.
Yeah, and he's smoking a stogie.
Oh, it's great, dude. So, Schwarzenegger. So, Predator is my all-time favorite fiction movie. It is like my creme de la creme. Love the Predator, and I even like Predator 2 with Danny Glover.
Yeah, Predator 2 gets a bad rap.
Their sequels have been butchered.
Same thing. Same thing.
Now, recently, I don't know, you probably not, but they did Prey on Hulu only. It's only on Hulu. And I saw it when it came out like 3 years ago, and it takes place with because the whole thing is the Predator is called like a Yatwa, and they go different places trying to hunt the best warrior. So coming to Earth for a long time, and the movie takes place during the Native Americans in like the 1600s, the late 1600s. The movie takes place.
The Predator was around in the 1600s.
So have you ever seen Predator 2 with Danny Glover?
No, I never have.
All right, so he defeats a Predator like Arnold. And this time there's a spaceship and other Predators come off the spaceship, and Danny Glover thinks he's going to get killed, but they take the body of the dead Predator and give Glover a trophy. And the trophy is a 16th century handgun with Adolfo Rolfini inscribed on it from like 1635 that the Predator gives, the like senior chief Predator gives to Danny Glover, and then the ship takes off. So what are you going? Indiana Jones 3, Predator 2?
Yeah, no, I definitely will. So they were definitely intending to make a Predator 3. But did Predator 2 do poorly at the box office? And do you think that's why they held off on it? They must have.
It kind of bombed, and then they went the AVP route, Alien vs. Predator.
Yes, I know. Remember that.
That came out when we were almost seniors, like around that. And those there were three of those, all kind of.
Yeah.
Always good to see the Predator. I get excited, but he gets his ass kicked in a couple scenes. I'm like, I don't want to, it's like seeing your favorite slaughtered.
I wanted to see if you remembered this or not, because I'm pretty sure you were there. During the season, I would force us all to go to the movies on Sunday nights. And I believe that you were there when I forced everyone to go see Sweet Home Alabama. Do you recall? Or The Ring? I think I took you to see The Ring. Do you recall that?
I did that.
Yeah, you can't. You didn't come to Sweet Home Alabama. I got Terry to go to that one. Yeah, I brought them all. They were so pissed at me. I said we're going to Sweet Home Alabama, and so we went to The Ring. And when we went with you, we went for a second time because it was so scary. It was like, we got to get these guys to see it.
It was scary.
It was, and it was so scary that on the ride home, we were in Terry's 1975 Suburban, and Smoot's in the back seat, and he goes, "Man, I don't know if I can sleep alone tonight." I don't think I can either. So Smoot ended up staying in our apartment, and we both slept on the couch, next to each other and we couldn't turn the lights off. We couldn't turn the light. Yes. Oh my God, that is great. What is that? Was that a promo picture?
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Yeah, so we slept side by side on the couch, and we didn't turn the lights off. And the only thing we put on was Sports Center, and we played Sports Center all night.
I did 5 Hail Marys and 6 Fathers, and also, I should have learned my lesson, because 4 years prior to that, Blair Witch came out. Steve, I saw this movie at 2 p.m. I still got 5 more hours of sunlight. I was racing from my car when I pulled into the driveway to my house, because we live. And I'm fucking 18 years old, huge, like big dude, like, and fucking Blair Witch is gonna get me at like 4 p.m.
Oh my God. And the Blair Witch was scary as hell. And the funniest part with that was I went with I think you may have met him. He was one of my good friends. He went to Providence College when I would bring everyone to Providence, and he came to UConn a few times. His name was Rich. Rich, at the end of the Blair Witch Project, the lights come on. Rich stands up and says, "So, who wants to go camping?" And everyone started booing and yelling at him. Rich was just being a jackass. He's like, "So, who wants to go out camping?" But my God,
I love that. That's hysterical, Rich. Oh,
that is Rich to a T. That is him to a T. But I was also I was looking at a lot of this stuff, and I just wanted to ask you: are you familiar with the Fire Festival?
No, what's that?
The Fire Festival was the brainchild of this rich guy, Billy. His name was Billy. I can't remember his last name. Billy McFarland. So Fire Festival, he was a brainchild because they were launching an app. It was on Netflix. If you have Netflix, please watch the documentary Fire Festival.
Okay.
So Billy came up with this idea for a fire app. And what it was you could book your favorite artist to come to your birthday party or whatever. And they would show up or come to your bar mitzvah. Like if you wanted Ja Rule to come to your bar mitzvah, you would use the Fire app, and you would put in an offer, and they would either accept it or not. So around the app, they decided to do a festival, and they picked basically the Bahamas on the island to do it, and a site that was basically unmanageable. So Billy was basically taking money from people, millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, with promises of paying them back after they made their money from the festival. And they had the one guy they interviewed. He's like, "I'm 22 years old, and Billy's telling me to book these acts." And they got like Blink 182, and they got I can't remember some of the other ones they got, but they had like some of Major Lazer was another one. They got these major acts. They completely overpaid for them, and they were, and they should have put the date off, but they rushed it, and it just completely ended in disaster. So people were buying it. It cost a fortune to go. So people were buying tickets to go. There were luxury villas you can stay in that didn't exist. And he was basically taking their money and using it to like build the site and fund it. So planes of people go to the Bahamas and nothing is set up. The luxury villas are basically FEMA tents from Hurricane Katrina that they used. And Billy and it was like just a free for all, where at night like people were rummaging, stealing beds, toilet paper, water. It was like Lord of the Flies. It was crazy, and they couldn't get out. They were trying to get to the airport and get flights out. The planes were delayed. It was just an epic disaster. So Billy ended up going to jail for fraud for 6 years. He gets out. He immediately plans a Fire Festival 2, which was supposed to happen this summer. And it was supposed to be in Mexico. It was supposed to be in Mexico. So Billy didn't really learn his lesson. Now, it was supposed to be this summer, and it is not happening. It was just announced that it's not happening. And it's just amazing because the Mexican government is saying like they had no idea this festival was supposed to happen in May. They're like, what is going on? Like that this was never announced. We never had discussions. Billy's like, oh yeah, we're doing this and that. Billy is just a massive con artist, which I find hilarious that he did that. But for it to happen twice, that's like, are you out of your mind? Are you absolutely out of your mind to do that? You did this to people twice. You took their money, you screwed them, and now this is the result of it. So I read that and I was just blown away. I was just blown away that he got he went right back to it. He didn't learn his lesson. He served 6 years in federal prison for fraud, and that was it. That was it. And then he came out and he did the exact same thing. So prison definitely reforms you.
Yeah. He's going back for another 6.
Yes. Yeah. I just can't. I was so just appalled that he did it again. And it just got announced that it was canceled because he was on Good Morning America and the Today Show, basically saying that it was happening, everything was good, and why it's the event of the century and you shouldn't miss it. And these idiot networks kept putting him on to promote it when apparently the government of Mexico had no idea. Yeah. So yeah, that's Billy McFarland. So I was looking at some of the NFL news, and I wanted to get your thought on the Cincinnati Bengals. They have T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. They paid him a fortune. Joe Burrow basically has to win. T. Higgins is on the franchise. He got the franchise tag, which is the death knell. Nobody wants a franchise tag. And they just got the two best wide receivers probably in the history on the same team. And they're so dominant. Yeah, I mean, Jerry Rice and John Taylor, but Jamar Chase is just unbelievable. T. Higgins is unbelievable, but they're paying him a fortune. And if they don't win the AFC Central, if they don't go to the playoffs and make a run, it just seems like it's a waste. And the salary cap keeps going up. But did you ever imagine that to get a starting quarterback and, a franchise top 5 starting quarterback, you're going to be paying $40-50 million a year?
Yeah, it's at least 40, and the top are in the 50s. It's crazy, dude. Crazy. Now, some things I've learned along the way. Say you're getting 50 mil a year. This wasn't around when we were playing if we had gotten professional money. They're taxed in each
state. Yeah.
They play in, even if it's
twice.
And then they got, the agent fee, then obviously the normal high tax. So say it's 50 million, they're probably walking away with like 16 to maybe 20.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're right. They're taxed wherever they play. They have to pay that tax. Then they have to pay the state tax wherever their city is, their home city, and the 3% agent fee, 100%.
And there's more. They got so if you're a quarterback making 50 million a year, you usually have a personal chef. You usually have like
assistant.
Like you have a lot. You're spending money to make money through now endorsements and other avenues that you can. Like that's why, like even growing up, when Michael Jordan's shoe deal was way bigger than his NBA contract.
Yeah, and that's why everyone wants to go to Florida because there's no income tax.
Yeah, I mean California destroys these dudes, destroys them.
Oh, they do.
They got like the city tax, the state, the over like a certain income tax is like there's you talk about double tax. There's like it's a good problem to have. Don't get me wrong, but I can see the anger there.
Now, the other thing I wanted to ask is you kind of like baseball, right?
I love the Yankees.
You love the Yankees, yes. Okay. So I didn't get to this last time. I wanted to get your opinion on the bat situation that's causing all this controversy. The pinball bat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, people think it's an unfair competitive advantage. Others say, it's within the rules. It's just, people being salty about it. People are hitting more home runs. Pitching has gotten so much better. They obviously they adjusted the ball to make it more difficult to hit. Do you think that the bat should be illegal? Do you think the bat is a competitive advantage?
No, I'm fine with it. Totally fine with it. Major League proved it. It's much about nothing. I'm fine with, from what I'm understanding, and it makes sense to me, that they're able to slow down a batter's swing so much with computer graphics and engineering software to see what is the most appropriate legal bat for a player and where the sweet spot should be and how long it should be and how much it should weigh. And if it falls within these requirements that MLB has passed, then whatever the fucking bat is what it is.
Yeah, I agree too. And it's good to see, power and home runs again because
baseball is boring if you don't have action.
It is. Because once the steroid era went away, nobody was hitting anything. I mean, you barely got guys that got the 30 home runs.
Right.
And, Aaron Judge had 60 last year, 63, I think. And it's just good to see that coming back because Major League Baseball, I love the pitch clock. I do a show, a radio show that covers the Woo Sox, the Worcester Red Sox, and I went out and we did a couple broadcasts for the games, and I love the pitch clock. I couldn't believe how fast it was,
Right.
and it cut the game down. It was like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like the second the pitcher catches the ball, the clock starts. So they got to make a decision. They got to go. And then the other thing I didn't realize was that the signals come from the catcher. The catcher has a mechanism where he beeps or whatever, and every player has it like on their leg, and it tells them what pitch is coming and anything that they need to do. And I thought that advancement was incredible. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know. I had no idea either until I went to the game, because I was like, how are they getting the pitches in so fast? And he's like, well, the catcher's got a mechanism on his thigh that he just beeps him for what he wants thrown. But it also, every player wears it, so they know what pitch is coming, and then they can adjust appropriately.
Yeah.
So that was such a good move that they made, and it sped up the game. It sped up the game and made it a lot faster. But so far, what you've seen of the Yankees, have you been satisfied? Have you been happy with them?
Yeah, I'm good with them. I mean, obviously, I'm starting pitching, and who's coming out of the bullpen when their main guy. But I've been real happy with Goldschmidt, Bellinger, Jazz, Chisholm. I've been very happy with Jazz. A lot of people are having a tough time.
Yeah.
Judge is just a beast. He's just a beast.
He's one of a kind. He's special.
So cool. He rocks 99, so I got a lot of love. But I really, really love the old guy. My mom, I'm a Yankee fan because my mom's a Yankee fan. She grew up just outside of New York City. She was a big Mickey Mantle fan. And she was like, who's this guy Goldschmidt? I'm like, this guy, the reason you don't know about him is because he was killing it in Arizona, winning MVPs,
Wow.
And she's like, how do we get him? And I was like, he's kind of like, he's getting up there in age for baseball. But if he can stay healthy and enjoy that short porch there in right field.
Right field. Yep. That's amazing. Yeah, and they built that for Babe Ruth, and it's lasted this long. And it's good to see them doing well, because when the Yankees do well, I feel Major League Baseball overall does well.
Yep.
That's the best part. Any TV shows that you're watching? Are there any shows right now that you're watching that you like?
So I watch
besides sports.
Yeah, so the reality TV I watch is like Mountain Men on History Channel, and the Curse.
That's a great one.
Yep, the Curse of Oak Island. I watch a lot of that. I do a fair amount of the Science Channel because they got some really cool like history and archaeology.
Yeah.
But comedy shows. What We Do in the Shadows on FX is a vampire comedy show. That's really fun. Really funny.
Oh, I'll check that out. Okay.
Yep. There's another one on FX. It hasn't been on for a while, but I think it's on Amazon. It's called Mr. In Between.
Yeah.
Really dry, and it's about a hitman who's retired and wants to stay retired, but his past back to him. And he's so sarcastic, it's hysterical. It's great. Yeah, I got to think about that. While you watch your movies, I got to think about what shows I recommend to you guys. I mean, what I'm going to do right now is when we wrap this up, I'm going to watch last night's Saturday Night Live. That's something I don't miss either.
Oh, you like SNL?
Even though it's usually terrible, I do watch all of them. I fast forward through a lot of the bullshit. But I do catch every once in a while the magic that they're able to pull. Pretty funny sometimes.
Well, I have to say it was a good day. Good, we got to see UConn win the national championship, which was nice.
Yeah.
They defeated UCLA Friday night, and the baseball team's doing well. Hopefully, football can get on the right track and keep winning 9 games and eventually get into a conference. And that will be exciting. Jim Moore is doing a great job. I wish we got more info on spring practice because we just don't know what's going on. And that's what drives me nuts, the lack of coverage that there's there. If we got more of it, we would know. But there's very little to find out. There's no news stories. And I'm a Store Central member. I talked to Burton just to find out what's going on. And it's hard because, we got every day we had coverage.
Yeah.
The Current was there, the Post was there, television was there, and now it's just so rare. And I think that's also a problem. We need a better media market, which will draw, obviously, to help get us into a conference. Yeah. But we made it through our first episode, and I like the dog, and I'll put some writing on it. And I have my homework. I can't wait to watch those shows. Those movies are going to be great. I'm going to watch Temple of Doom. I can't wait for that, and Predator 2, which I haven't seen. Yes, Predator 2. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, and then the Sean Connery 3 is great, and then you got to do
the South Park episode. I got to get that too.
Yes. Oh my God, it's brilliant. It's so good.
I'll get that in tonight. I just have to thank Ned Von Young, Fresh, and his Fresh Fold Laundry Company down in Carborough, North Carolina. State of the art. They have online booking. You can book your washer and dryer online. They have an online subscription model, weekly or bi-weekly. You can go in whenever you want and do your laundry. They are just outside of Chapel Hill. If you're a University of North Carolina student, North Carolina Central, or Duke University student, you can go there. There are plenty of specials and deals to get your laundry done. And the website is freshfold-laundry.com. Go there, sign up, get your laundry done. Don't let it pile up. And for the man himself, Sean Mulcahy, this has been Husky Talk SNS. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and throw them back at life.